Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan 2x15 on Xbox Live, and I just finished watching WWE Wrestlemaina Backlash. And my god, I actually am very happy with the results. It was a magnificent WWE Wrestlemania Backlash. Once again, another great pay-per-view for WWE. I mean, the results didn't go. Actually, some of my predictions were actually spot on, but some of them not so much. But I'm going to go through each match. I'm going to give you a quick review of what happened from match 1 to all the way down to the main event. And so there was no kickoff show matchup, which I'm glad there wasn't. So I feel like I'm right to miss any kickoff show now, because I feel like they're going away from the kickoff show matches. So without further ado, the very first match on Wrestlemania Backlash this past Sunday was Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. And let me tell you, that was one hell of a matchup. Every chance that Seth Rollins got, he had a counter for everything, because he was prepared this time. He was ready. As I was saying, it was a back and forth type of matchup, and Seth Rollins had a counter for everything for Cody Rhodes. But it was near the end where Cody Rhodes pretty much came back. He actually did a really good counter at one point from that Falcon Arrow off the top rope. He hit one super Falcon Arrow from Seth Rollins, and he was going to turn it into another one. But then, out of nowhere, Cody Rhodes I think he hit the crossroads, I believe. But I think it was a kick out and a 2 count. But in the end, Seth Rollins, he was so pissed off that he tried to cheat, ladies and gentlemen, with the roll-up with the tights. But Cody Rhodes countered with the roll-up of his own, holding Seth Rollins' tights. 1, 2, 3, match is over. That was a very clever win. That's 2-0. 2-0 to Cody Rhodes when it comes to WrestleMania weekend, or whatever you like to call it. So he's beaten Seth Rollins twice now. So yeah, that was it. That's the Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes match. Cody Rhodes with the victory. So we're going to go on to match number 2 now. It was Omos versus Bobby Lashley, and to be honest, it's exactly what I expected, as Omos pretty much dominated the entire match. Bobby Lashley had a couple of chances taking down Bobby Lashley, but in the end, it was a cheap shot from MVP when Omos threw Bobby Lashley into one of the corners, and the referee was holding him back saying, hey, come on, man, he's got to get him out of the corner, like the official should do. But then, bam, with that cane to the gut, I think to like the right on the pecs, so the throat of Bobby Lashley from MVP. Then he turns around and almost does the double-handed chokeslam finisher maneuver. 1, 2, 3. Omos, the Nigerian Giant, as they now are calling him now. Very good nickname, and I must say, is the winner here. So yeah, it's now one apiece when it comes to Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Then we go on to the third match. It was AJ Styles versus Edge, and well, with the fact that AJ Styles got a pinfall victory over Damian Priest on Monday Night Raw, that means Damian Priest is barred from ringside. And it came down to the shoulder injury that AJ Styles had, shoulder injury, quote unquote. During the matchup, Edge was working on that shoulder all match, but there wasn't even at one point where I thought that Edge was going to tap out to the calf crusher, but he couldn't really fully get it locked in because of that bad shoulder. But then that was also an awesome Styles clash, where we had the front suplex onto the ropes, countering it into the Styles clash. Very unique, only a 2 count though. And then AJ Styles had his chance to maybe hit the phenomenal forearm. He wanted to do the springboard, but his shoulder was doing him in, so he climbed the top turnbuckle. Of course, Damian Priest walks down, technically barred from ringside, so he's like, hey, I'm barred from ringside. And so he was standing on the ramp, he was saying, hey, I'm not at ringside, I'm on the rampway. And so down comes Finn Balor attacking Damian Priest, beating him up inside the ring, and because of that all chaos, the referee was trying to get those two out the ring, and while AJ Styles was on the turnbuckle waiting for Edge to get up and presumably hit a phenomenal forearm off the top rope, he gets pushed off the top rope from this mysterious masked stranger. We all thought it was a man that pushed him off, and I'll get to that in a second, as well, that caused the distraction, and AJ Styles got, caught by Edge into the crossface. He faded away, he got blacked out, and AJ Styles, because he faded away, he lost the matchup. Edge is the winner. And then in the middle of the ring, that masked stranger reveals himself to be Rhea Ripley. I didn't see that coming. Who saw that coming? Apart from the internet community. I didn't. It was a great move because that was like I don't know what Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, is going to think about Rhea Ripley joining him. This could be some new seeds being planted on a new faction of Judgment Day, not just for Edge, the leader, and Damian Priest. We're going to have a woman in the stable too. This is going to be good. This is going to be good, without doubt. Who is going to, try and topple this faction? We will have to find out on Monday Night Raw, but I like where this is heading. And speaking of women, and the next match was the I Quit match for the Smackdown Women's Championship, as Ronda Rousey, the challenger, goes one-on-one with the champion Charlotte Flair. A hell of a matchup. Very, very back and forth. There was kendo sticks being used. There was fighting in the crowd. There was chair shots. There was barricades. Everything you can name it. There was even like a triangle armbar connected, and of course no rope break. You can't really do nothing about the rope break, so that was a disadvantage. So it ended up with Charlotte Flair there was an opportunity to make Ronda Rousey tap out with the figure of eight. Ronda Rousey didn't quit out the that. She even hit her with a natural selection onto the chair that was in the middle of the ring. Didn't quit. And then finally, after all this time, Ronda Rousey countered Charlotte Flair when she had the chair in the ring, she said, hey, I'm gonna make you quit now, basically Charlotte Flair was saying. But then she got the chair, put the chair in Charlotte's arm, pulled back the arm, and she said, hey Charlotte, do you want to quit now? Charlotte said to the referee, nope, I am not quitting. And Ronda said, hey, bring that mic to me. And she said, hey, that's what I thought, bitch. And she basically broke her arm backwards, and Charlotte had no choice but to tap out and say the words I quit, and therefore Ronda Rousey is now your new SmackDown Women's Champion. That was one big matchup, one hell of a matchup. I loved it. And I'm going like this and giving 2 thumbs up in the air like this to the I Quit match, when the next match was not so great, as it was Happy Corbin going one-on-one with Madcap Moss. Not exactly the most exciting matches, I would say. Realistically, I think that was the toilet break match or whatever you'd like to call it, because it weren't that great. Madcap Moss won, but it was due to a roll up and sunset flip pin, and weren't that great compared to some of the other matches on the card that happened. But that was basically it, as I'm going to go on to the next match. And the main event time! It was RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champions. RK Bro going and teaming up with Drew McIntyre to take on the bloodline of the Universal Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns and the Smackdown Tag Team Champions Usos. And that was a hell of a main event, folks. I enjoyed every last second of it. There was RKOs, there was spears, there was super kicks, there was a table break. Uganati through the table. Drew McIntyre got put through a table from a Uganati from Roman Reigns. It was awesome. There was everything you can think of. The ending was brilliant because Riddle had Jey Uso where he wanted him. He hit the knee into the corner of Roman Reigns and was going to do a big move, like a running move, but because Roman Reigns made the tag, it was a spear to Riddle and pinning him 1, 2, 3. The bloodlines, I'm gonna sit back for this, are the ones. There's no doubt about it. The Usos, Smackdown Tag Team Champions, the Usos are the ones, and Roman Reigns, the Universal Heavyweight Champion, Undisputed Heavyweight Champion, is also the one. He is the Tribal Chief. He's the head of the table. I'm going to acknowledge them right now because they pulled off yet another great main event. And let me just say, I don't see those three men slowing down anytime soon. Because if you think that, wink wink, then you are just another sucker that's fallen into Roman Reigns' hand, and he can pull down some fingers and do this because you will acknowledge the Tribal Chief. That's a little inside joke for myself. But in all seriousness, we got 2 pay-per-views coming up that was advertised while I was watching Backlash. That's the Money in the Bank. That it will be on the 2nd of July in Las Vegas, and of course Hell in a Cell, which I believe is the next pay-per-view. And I will be making my predictions for both those pay-per-views when they come up, and of course I will do a review just like this one. I hope you enjoy it. WWE Wrestlemania Backlash. Let me know, what did you think of Wrestlemania Backlash? Was it good, bad, or was it okay? Personally, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was brilliant. But hey, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree15 on Xbox Live, and I'll see you next time for the next lot of predictions and review. But until then, goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.